It's Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to yet another quick chat. Today on the quick chat, I want to talk to you guys regarding a sit down interview that Mr. Carlos King had with Gizelle Bryant and Miss Robin Dixon over there on Reasonably Shady. Okay, just want to talk to you guys real briefly about that. But before we get into that, real quick, let's talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Miss Erica Jane, because Miss Girl was recently served with a $50 million lawsuit upon returning from a Hawaii vacation. And from what I'm hearing, she was on vacation with Miss Diana Jenkins as well as Miss Lisa Rinna. Now they're saying following this trip, Erica Jane was served with papers for $50 million. Okay, and this was a racketeering lawsuit. As soon as she touched down at the airport, she was being served. There are exclusive pics and photos that were captured by Page 6. So let me go ahead and play that for you guys.
Thank you so much.
Now, according to Page 6, this lawsuit is accusing Erica Jane of 9 charges, including racketeering, conspiracy to commit racketeering, unlawful business practice, and deceit, among others, in relation to the ongoing legal drama involving her estranged ex-husband, Mr. Tim Girardi. Now, imagine that you was with this man for however long. You guys are getting this divorce. At least she wants to get a divorce, but she said he can't afford it. She can't afford it. She's making more money than him, so she ain't trying to use all her housewives money to go and pay him any type of alimony. So right now she's just going to deal with the fact that they are still married until I guess he passes, because I do believe that he's in a home. And if you ask me, I think Miss Erica might have a little insurance policy on him, and if she do, I'm not going to necessarily doubt it, but that's just what I'm thinking. But all I'm saying is, imagine that you're being married to this man and he's running all kind of schemes and things under your nose, and you're being served with lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. Like, that has to be completely draining. I know, just when you probably think that you're getting over the hump, you're getting pushed back a few more humps. Okay, so this is going to be ongoing for Miss Girl. I hope that she can get things sorted out and worked out. But racketeering, yeah, I don't know, Miss Erica Jane. Okay, they're also saying in the lawsuit that Tom and Erica routinely misappropriated client settlement money to project an image of wealth and to prop up a lifestyle made for reality TV. Now, the lawsuit also alleges that Miss Erica Jane's EJ Global Company was created for the purpose of funneling money from Girardi Keese to benefit Miss Erica. I do believe part of this could be true. Maybe it was created to funnel some money, but maybe Miss Erica didn't know everything that was going on. And you know, she sat up there on last year's reunion and said all of her paychecks that came from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, she gave all her money over to Tom. Girl, I'm finding that hard to believe, but that's just what she said. You know, she continued to make it seem as though she didn't know what the heck was going on when it came down to, you know, the little sneaky things, the schemes he was over there doing behind the scenes. All right. They're also going on to say that the lawsuit claims in court documents that Jane was aware of her husband's schemes, which is so interesting because she acts like she doesn't know anything. Okay. Yikes. Ooh, listen, I don't know what else to tell Miss Erica, girl. I just hope things get a little better for you at some point. I don't know why I feel like, girl, you're going to be hit with yet another lawsuit at some point. I don't know, but the people are definitely on her tail. I do wonder if this was filmed, if she was out on a trip with Lisa Rinna, if she was on a trip with Miss Diana Jenkins. You know, number one, that's embarrassing to be served, okay, in front of everybody, and then 2, in front of your close friends, and then 3, they putting the camera right in your face. They got the camera right in your face. Girl, that's a whole lot. So embarrassing. So extremely embarrassing. Y'all go ahead and leave y'all thoughts and comments down below, girl, because this right here is definitely messy to me. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and move on. I want to talk about the Reasonably Shady podcast that Gizelle and Robin had with Mr. Carlos King. There was a sit down. The interview was roughly maybe like an hour or so, but you guys are welcome to go check it out on your own. I just pulled two different parts from that interview that, stood out to me that I wanted to bring to you guys, and, we could chit chat about it down in the comments or whatnot, okay? First of all, actually, maybe, yeah, it's two parts, two little sound bites I want you guys to hear, but some things that I highlighted. Number one, Carlos calls out Dorit when it comes to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and how she's boring. And I'm sitting over here like, did he lie? Did he lie? He feels like social media, Twitter or whatever ruined Miss Girl. And I'm like, she's definitely giving boring. I wasn't watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills earlier on in the seasons. I just started last season. It's pretty good. But Dorit is boring right out the gate. I didn't need to watch the previous seasons to know how boring she is at this point. So I felt like he didn't necessarily lie when he talked about that. Okay, so y'all can give y'all thoughts and stuff down below, because they were asking him a question on his thoughts about how watching reality TV, I guess, may be different from back then, because it wasn't a lot of social media talk back then. Now it's ingrained in the TV shows, because when you watch the TV shows, down at the bottom or at the top of the screen, they make sure they put the hashtag up, right? So they want to hear your opinions, they want to know your thoughts, but sometimes it can affect housewives to a place where they don't really want to open up and be vulnerable because they think they may be judged or whatever. So I think that's where he was going when he said that Dorit is boring, because social media is going to be on her arse. He doesn't really care about her fashions that she's renting from different stylists. And I definitely cackled, because that's what it's given. But Miss Dorit can dress down. She could dress. I will give her that. Now this season she ain't really been dressing. She's continuing to play the part, as her home was burglarized or whatever. She talked about that. So she's playing the part. She hasn't been giving us much fashions, but she's definitely been giving us something to feel sorry for, which I have yet to do. But either way, honey, good luck. Let's keep going, okay? Now, Gizelle also took some time to kind of call out Carlos, because they ended up doing an interview and she didn't really like how he came off as though he was trying to take the credit for Miss Nene Leakes, okay? And her being who it is that she is to this day. And so Carlos definitely cleared that up. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead and check out what Carlos had to say about that.
A question, because you and I were on, because this offended me a little bit, Carlos. I'm gonna put a little caveat out there first. You and I we did this little behind reality television or something, like the story of reality television. Okay, so in that you talked about Nene Leakes and the greatness and the bigness of Nene Leakes, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be honest, with the first time I saw Nene on Atlanta, which was like season 1, ep 1, first scene, there's Nene. I was like, holy shit, she's a star, right? And and you, in that interview, I felt like you were taking credit for Nene and her personality and her character and everything. Not her character, but just like her rise, right?
Okay.
And I was like, no, Carlos, you can't do that. And I took it personal only because I am on the other side of the camera, and I would never want any producer to be like, oh, I made Gizelle, I made Robin. If it wasn't for me, them bitches wouldn't be shit. Like, I would hate that.
But in my defense, I never said those things. But continue.
No. So the question, well, you kind of did a little bit, Carlos. So okay. So the question is, do you feel like without Carlos, Nene would not be as big as she is? I guess is the question.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. So let's go back a little bit, because one thing about me, being from the world of journalism and my Porsche boys is I remember the facts. So when you and I both were on, I think it was called Reality Rewind, Andy Cohen produced it, and when I say they, the producers asked me questions about Nene Leakes and the first day we met.
Yeah.
And I said, when I met Nene Leakes, she was a star. I fell in love with her. She said, hey, bitch. I said, oh, bitch, we're going to be friends forever. Like, I love her. And what I did say, which is true, is that Nene will look at me and my mannerisms, and she would be like, oh, that's funny. And she would always, you know how, like, growing up in a Black household, how your parents be like, Gizelle, Robin, go dance for the people. Go dance. Go sing in front of the friends. Like when their friends would come over. So on set, Nene would have her friends over, and she was like, Carlos, come here. Do that thing you did when you used to swipe your bangs away. And I would be like, yes. And she'd say, yes, honey, yes, I love it, I live. So then she started taking my mannerisms and she would apply it on camera.
Okay,
and
right,
people,
that's what he said,
and people would be like, why are you acting like a gay black man? People always say, like, Nene acts like a gay black man.
Okay.
So I was saying, Gizelle, that I'm the gay black man that she was acting like. So
Okay.
I'm glad we talked about that. But no, I would never take credit for her success. But I will say this, and quote
Say
me
it,
on
please.
this.
Yes, quote.
Every great female reality star is great because she has a producer. Oftentimes, it's a gay boy, oftentimes, who is able to pull out the best. And when I say that, I'm not saying we take credit for no one's success. My thought process in this is when you look at Beyonce and Mariah Carey and Janet Jackson, like these great performers, oftentimes they have a gay choreographer, there's something about that relationship that happens. And I believe the reason why, Gizelle, you were one of my 10 greatest housewives of all time is because...
And we're going to get to that. We're going to talk about that. Uh-huh.
You're great on your own. Don't get me wrong. But, and I'm going to stop saying his name because he's very private. But there's a producer who works on Potomac, a gay black man, who is beyond talented and a genius. And I think because you have a trusting relationship with him.
Very true.
And a key that it brings out the best in you. But by no means will I say he's the reason why you're number 9 on my list.
All right, I'm definitely glad that he went ahead and cleared that up, because if I just relied on what Gizelle said and I didn't listen to the interview or anything like that, I would definitely feel away. Like, not you trying to claim that, you know, you're a part of making Nene who she is, or not a part of, but you are the reason that Nene is who she is. Like, I definitely would be like, now wait a minute now, you know. So I'm glad that he was able to clear that up. And I'm sure, as he mentioned, like, a lot of producers impact a lot, you know, when it comes to these stars and what they're willing to open up and share with the people. You know what I'm saying? Which over time makes us love them or hate them either way. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that producers have some type of impact when it comes to that, but y'all not the 100% reason for anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, not the number one, the main reason. Absolutely not. But I am glad that he cleared that up. Now, before Carlos left, he also asked the ladies one question, and it was like a 2-part question, but the ladies wouldn't answer the second part. Like, well, actually, it was more. Actually, I'm mixing it up. My apologies. The first question was about Monique, and we'll get to that. Another question he asked them was about the ladies of Real Housewives of Potomac, and he wanted to know who's delivering versus who's not delivering. And of course, Miss Gizelle says Karen, but Miss Robin said Karen is not giving. I don't know what you're talking about. Ashley is the one that's giving. And Gizelle says, well, you know, that's expected of Ashley. And I'm sitting up here like, Gizelle, you just said that it changes from season to season. So how does it make sense for Karen to be that girl this season, but not Ashley to be that girl this season, saying that it's expected? And Robin's like, well, girl, we're comparing her to last season, right? Basically, that's what you said. So if we're comparing Ashley to last season versus this season, she's probably going to give. Y'all already know how I feel about Miss Ashley. Some of y'all finna be mad at me, girl, but I think I might be leaning over there to, you know, peep over into the Ashley train. Okay, I got one foot. Okay, I got my ticket. I do have my ticket. I got my ticket to slightly step on over there to the Ashley train just a little bit, because when I look at Ashley on social media, Miss Girl has been giving. Miss Girl has been giving. Miss Girl is divorcing Mr. Michael, honey, and I'm thinking I'm going to like what she's going to give, but I'm going to reserve that, because every time I start out liking somebody on the show, it always changes slowly before the show is over or whatever. So I'm going to reserve it, but I'm just going to say I do have my ticket. And we're going to see whether I'm going to hop on the Ashley train by the end of the season or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or mid-season. We're going to see. I do have my ticket. I just haven't redeemed it yet. So just give me some time on that. You know, we're going to see about Miss Karen. You know, I don't know. We're going to see what Miss Karen really giving. I feel like Gizelle is overhyping Karen, but we are going to see exactly who Karen may be beefing with, because I thought it probably would be Mia this season since her and Gizelle made up. But I don't know. Karen could be like, anybody can get it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, there's that, right? So of course the ladies talked about that, but they would not necessarily say who they think is giving the least. So they said they'll wait until the season start, and then they'll do a podcast interview over there on Carlos's show, where they'll reveal who they feel like is bringing the least amount of energy this particular season. And I feel like Gizelle wanted to say Wendy, but she didn't say anything. Some part of me feels like I hope it's Candace that's going to give the least, but I feel like it doesn't matter what Candace does. People are going to ridicule her, whether she does too much or whether she does not do enough. I would love to see her sit back and not say a whole lot of nothing. I wouldn't even, some part of me is kind of like, if she was the bone collector or carrier just a little bit, I probably wouldn't be mad, because Miss Girl has been working for the past few seasons. Like, whether you like her or not, she's the one that keeps y'all talking. Just like y'all hate Kenya on Real Housewives of Atlanta, Kenya has kept the people talking for so many years. So it's kind of like some part of me doesn't want Candace to give, but I feel like with her personality, I don't even know if it's in Candace to not give. So we're just going to see. The ladies didn't want to answer it now, so hopefully we'll find out at a later time. But anyway, Carlos goes on to ask the ladies about Miss Monique Samuels, and he wanted to know whether or not they felt like she was, good for the show. So you guys check this out.
I better be honest. Would y'all say Monique Samuels was good for the show?
Really? That's your question? Oh God! Listen, he been dying to say her name.
Okay.
He been dying.
So this is probably gonna, I don't know, upset some people maybe, because people are very sensitive. So when we filmed the show and season 1 was about to premiere, I said, we don't have any color on this show. I said, we're too light-skinned. We need some brown-skinned people on the show. And I said, people aren't going to connect with us. People who are, used to watching Atlanta. I said, they're not going to connect with us because they're going to just see a cast full of light-skinned people. So when Monique was casted, I was so happy. I was so happy to see a beautiful brown-skinned woman cast on our show who's living the Potomac life that they wanted to see. I thought she was a fabulous addition to our show. Not just for that reason alone, but I thought that was so important for people to see that, and for them to be able to connect to us. And I mean, yeah, I think she was a good addition to the show. Of course, we had success. So,
Yeah.
And I think, a lot of it is that people tuned in. They saw Monique. They said, oh, well, let me watch the show and see what it's about. And then people were able to appreciate the show for what it was, and not look at the show and say, I can't relate to anyone. So just for that reason alone, I think she was a great addition.
And so I agree with everything that Robin said, but currently she's exactly where she should be, which is with you on another network.
No, and I agree with that. Okay.
See? There you have it. This is how we get the reasonably shady, honey, for sure, because Robin was definitely being reasonable, but then Gizelle had to hit y'all with the shade right on the back and let y'all know, listen, Miss Girl is right where she needs to be, over there with you. We do not need her over here on this show no more. She has served her time. She has done what she needed to do, and we thank you. Let's move on, okay? Let's go on, honey. Let's move on. Okay, so there you have it. Gizelle don't miss her at all, and Robin definitely kept it cute. She kept it nice. Okay, it sounded like she wasn't necessarily gonna do that when she said a lot of people gonna be mad, but she ended up, I guess, hitting people with a soft blow. Like, yeah, I thought she was good. She did what she needed to do when she came onto the show. Okay, they needed more brown women, and she felt like because of that reason alone, she felt like Monique was good for the show. I mean, whether I like Monique or not, you know what I'm saying? As it pertains to Potomac, she did what she needed to do. She came on the show and she gave the people something to talk about, especially myself, the same way, a lot of people have things to say about Candace. We've had a lot of things to say about Monique. So I don't think it would be fair to say that she did not bring anything to the show, or she wasn't, worth being on the show, or whatever the case may be, because she gave when she gave. You know what I'm saying? Definitely gave the people some things to talk about. So I think Robin did right with giving a true and honest opinion about that. Okay, so there's that. You heard what Gizelle had to say. You also heard Mr. Carlos go ahead and agree, and he also believes that Monique is at the best place where she needs to be, which is over there with him. Okay, now y'all know she's over there on Love and Marriage DC. Reunion Part 1 just dropped not too long ago. You guys can check out my review on that. But Reunion Part 2 is coming up. And now my question is, will they even be getting a season 2? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But also be tuned in, girl, because Bell Collective drops this Friday, and I'm definitely going to be tuned in. But that's all I got, honey. Don't forget to like the video, honey. Also, be sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell, all that good jazz. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at jamithatsme, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.